Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, good. How are you?
Pretty good. You hear me fine?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, where you from, man?
I'm from Miami,
For real? That's not too far. I'm up in Atlanta, or like an hour north of Atlanta. So,
Atlanta, the Marietta area.
I'm like more north than Marietta. Yeah, but not
Okay.
too far from there.
Yeah, my family lives in Kentucky, so if I ever drive, I pass right through there.
For real? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, man. So tell us tell us a little bit about yourself. Let the people know your name, where you're from, little music background.
Um, so my name's Seon. I'm 22. I've been making music for probably about 2.5 years. I released some early stuff on SoundCloud, and then I released my first song on streaming about that would have been January of 2019. So yeah, it's almost 2 years ago. That was the first time I put anything on streaming. And that's actually my biggest song I have out now. Never Be Alright. That was the first song I ever put on streaming, which was pretty cool because I saw a lot of success from that song, which was dope.
Yeah, nice, man. The um That's the song that's got like almost like two million and something views just on SoundCloud, right?
Yeah, just on SoundCloud, and it's got like I think I just hit 8 billion. Or I'm really close to 8 million on Spotify.
Hell yeah, man. Congratulations on that, especially for your first song, man.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. It just kind of took off, and it was like a weird little growth. Like it started doing really well, and then this past June and July, a lot of people started using it on TikTok, and it just like spiraled, it, like doubled or tripled in growth, which was really cool.
That's awesome, man. Other than just other people using on TikTok and stuff, did you have any type of marketing strategy or anything, or you just put it out and how'd that work?
Yeah, so I did. So whenever I drop a song, I'll get reposts. So I'll pay for like some reposts. Normally, I put in like $100. I think that's what I put in for the song, and just hit people up and be like, "Yo, can I get 24-hour reposts or like a couple day reposts?" And then that's really all that I did for that song. But then I got lucky. I got Promoting Sounds is a really big YouTube channel, and they posted a few of my songs. They found Never Be Alright. They posted it, and then there's this YouTube channel called Gold Coast Vibes. They posted it, and that did really well. And then there's a YouTuber named Patrick CC, and he made a YouTube video with it. So like all three of those together got it to like a decent growth. And then the TikTok came, and then it just like kind of took it through the roof, which was awesome.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, I found your stuff just randomly in a playlist. And that was the song that I came across. And when I went and checked you out, I liked, you know, I listened to like the top four songs. I liked
Mhm.
everything, man. I feel like, that's some success I'll continue for you. I don't feel like it was like one song and, done. You definitely have a good sound, and I really enjoyed what I did here.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, it's just music's so weird a lot of the times. It's just like, how can you like with that video I said like with the song, it got on like those three YouTube channels. Like, there's nothing really I can do to get it on the YouTube channels. I just kind of have to like make the best content I can, and then hopefully like people vibe with it, and then like it spreads.
Yeah, for sure. What's what's some of your music influences? What made you want to start, making music?
So like for making music, like I've grown up, like I was actually thinking about to say, like I was like always into music, like when I was really young, like I like literally all the time listening to music, like nonstop. Especially I remember having like the iPod, like I had like iPod shuffle. I always had my headphones in, like vibing out, um, and then I started making music. I actually had some homies when I was in college I was living with. They started making music, and I was like, oh, this seems kind of dope. So I found some tight beats, wrote a couple songs, and then I was actually on Snapchat one day and saw one of my other homies was at a studio, and I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, where is this? I found out it was like right by my house. Some dude I went to high school with, who's my producer, who I work with on everything today. We went to high school together, but we didn't really know each other. But I pulled up, and then I started making music there. But as far as influence wise, I have a lot of different influences. Like now I listen to a lot of variety, like a lot of like singer songwriter people, like kind of like Ben Howard, Isaac Gracie, even like Jack Johnson, kind of stuff like that. And then also like some more hip hop stuff, like a lot of Mac Miller, a lot, Joey Badass, Underachievers, Flatbush Zombies. Um, yeah, and then growing up, I listened to a lot of like more alternative music too. My older brother was really into like he was in like a punk band and like a heavy metal band, and he listened to a lot of like Blink 182, My Chemical Romance, a lot of those like pop punk early 2000s. So I still listen to those guys. I still love that music. It's so dope.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, My Chemical Romance like will never die for me, man. I
Yeah.
That's one of my personal favorites. I'll pop them on to like work out to and stuff sometimes still to this day.
Yeah, they're sick. That whole era was dope. That whole era was dope.
Yeah, for sure, man. Do you feel like have you always grew up in or you always lived in the area you live now?
Yeah, I've always been here. I've been in like the same house my whole life.
Yeah, do you feel like that area influences your music at all?
Honestly, no, not really. Because I'm really close to Atlanta, so like really the music around me, like right now is like Lil Baby, Gunna, Gucci Man. Like I listened to a lot of that growing up. Like I still love Gucci, but like Young Thug, a lot of like that stuff, Playboy Cardi, a lot of that stuff, and I don't really pull too much from that. Just as of right now, I don't really listen to too much of that. So.
Yeah. I can understand that, man. Those I this kind of it's kind of weird. I went to Rolling Loud this past year and I'm not gonna lie, man, like when I was walking through like in the back of crowds, I couldn't tell the difference between like some guys. You know? I think there's a couple of people I'm not gonna throw shade at them
Yeah,
specifically. You know, they're doing great, they're doing their thing, but yeah, there's like some of those big artists, like if you can't see them, like it sounds the same.
yeah, I feel that 100%.
You
And
know?
I'll never try to throw shade or anything. I feel like I got used to do that a little bit, but now I realize like all music, like there's vibes for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you need music for every different vibe, and like some people really relate to some things don't relate. You know, and like for me with that type of music, it's just not really that's not really my lifestyle, or like so I'm not really able to relate to it that much. So it's kind of hard for me to like listen to that.
Yeah, 100%, man. That makes sense. Do you do you have any specific way that you go about songwriting? Is there like a specific process that you usually take?
It's kind of so like I go through like phases. So like I might write a song that's really cool, and I'm like, bro, I gotta start doing like this all the time. So like right now I'm in the moment where I'll go to the studio because I live like 5 minutes from the studio. So I'll just go there. We'll cook up some beats. We'll kind of go through, see what I like. Sometimes I'll have a certain vibe I'm going for, or we'll just get something like totally from scratch. And then normally I'll come back. I got like a studio set up at my house, so I'll cook here. I'll normally listen to the beat, figure out like what I'm trying to talk about, and then kind of like jot down like just ideas or like maybe some metaphors I have or just certain things I know I want to talk about in the song because I kind of need like a direction of where I want to go with like my lyrics. And
Mm.
then normally, if I'm rapping, I'll normally just kind of like if it's like talk rapping and stuff like that, I'll normally write everything down. But if it's like more melodic stuff, sometimes I'll like freestyle and get flows down and then go back in and change the words. It just kind of depends on the song. But most of the time, but lately I've been kind of sticking with that vibe. And then I'll get a rough mix here, go to the studio, and then we'll lay everything down on the studio, and then my boy will mix and master it and everything.
Nice. So you produce a little bit yourself?
No, 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 no.
No?
My boy does everything. I like, and I'm in the process. I'm involved in the process where I'll be like, I like this, I don't like that. I'm kind of like picky when it comes to that stuff, but I don't know how to produce anything. Thankfully, I have, yeah. Thankfully, I got my homie who literally has done all my songs. Everything that's out on streaming, he's done.
Oh yeah, man. And what do you have in the works for the future? You got some music coming out, some videos. What's coming up?
Yeah. So I actually just did a Never Be Alright video. I did that video. I flew out to Kansas City 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Okay.
and I went out there and filmed for like 3 days, and then I just got one of the first edits of that a week ago, and then we've been kind of going back and forth on it, and then now they're just getting the final colors done, and then I should have it in, and then I'm hoping to have that out in about 2 or 3 weeks. Not too certain on the time period, but hopefully in about 2 or 3 weeks, and then after that, just probably keep dropping. I know I try to do a single a month. I try to be pretty consistent with that, so I'm gonna like continue to be doing that for the next couple months, and then hopefully down the line an EP, because like I'm sitting on like a lot of music right now, so it's like I think I'm gonna need to drop an EP, or else like it's gonna be hard for me to really get everything out there.
Oh yeah, man. So how's um how's COVID been treating you? Have you been making a lot of music? Have you learned something about yourself? What's COVID life been for you?
It's been pretty straight. I mean, like so like I was low key locked up. Like I was in prison for like 9 months. I just got out in like July. So when COVID first hit, I was locked up. So like nothing was really different. Everything was kind of the same when in there. And everybody, like when full quarantine was happening, I was locked up. So I really wasn't even a part of that. But it was kind of funny because I was like, oh, all y'all are doing the same thing I'm doing. Like y'all are all trapped inside. Like I've been doing this. Like I've been trapped inside for like 9 months. So, but now that I'm out, I mean, nothing really too much changes. I'm pretty like introverted and like kept to myself a lot anyway. Like I have some close homies and we'll chill, but I'm not too much into like big groups, so it hasn't really like affected me too much. I normally spend a lot of time like cooking and everything anyway. Like I'm kind of like a workaholic, so I just like grind all the time.
Nice, man. And you know, being locked up, and do you feel like that experience has helped you grow as an artist, or is it just, something that happened, you like, well, try to elaborate a little bit on that, of how that affected your music.
Um, I think like yeah, it definitely had an impact. I think the biggest thing it did was just kind of like I kind of knew what I wanted to do when I get out. Like I kind of had like a decent amount of a vision of like where I wanted to go this and what I was really trying to do. Cause like a lot of the I was pretty decently small like when I went in. Like when I first got locked up, I only had like 20,000 monthly listeners. I really wasn't that big. I wasn't making like money off music really like at all, like barely anything. And then when I got out, I was at like 250 monthly listeners. I was making like full-time living, and it was just like everything was mad different, but it was really cool because like while I was there, I was kind of like, yo, this is really what I'm trying to do. Like I want to do this full time. I want to just kind of give me an idea of where I was trying to go with this, and showing that okay, like I need to finally be able to kind of put my 100% effort. Because before I got locked up, I was like, and I was still in college, I was still working. I was like, music was like every every like probably like 3 days a week I was getting in, going to studio, only really working in the studio. I didn't even really have a setup at my house or anything, so it was very like a on occasion, and I was still able to do as good as I did. And then so I was like, okay, well, what if I actually put like my 100 into this? Like where could I go? So that's kind of where I am now. It's like let's put everything into one basket and kind of see where it takes me.
For sure, man. And were you able to finish school, or did you just stop and make music and that was that?
Nah, I dropped out.
What, what
I have like I had like I mean, I think I have like a year and a half left to finish college, but I was just like, I
what was
mean,
you going for?
I was going for kinesiology, like exercise. Like, look, I was gonna be a college soccer coach. I actually like played college soccer for a couple of years, and
Oh,
then
nice, dude. Me
like,
too.
yeah, I was gonna coach college soccer, and then that's what I was doing for work. Like, I was coaching youth soccer. Like, I built my way up, and like I was doing really well. But then I got locked up, and it was kind of like, yeah, that really wasn't like an option anymore. So I was like, I
Yeah,
don't really know what I would go to school for. So I was gonna do psychology, and try to be like do like a therapy or something like that. But I was just like, honestly, this is like, I'm trying to, I don't know. I believe like if we want to follow our dreams, we kind of gotta like just stick to one thing sometimes.
yeah. Isn't that strange how probably one of the worst things that could have happened to you, like, ended up leading you to your, like, path that makes you more happy?
Yeah, 100%. It's beautiful. Like I'm like mad grateful. Like I never like I'm always super grateful for what happened. Like it was an experience that molded me, shaped me, like it really made me who I am. Like everything I've been through. I don't like regret anything or I just like it makes me who I am. I'm content with who I am. I'm content where I am. So
That's awesome, man. Do you do you feel like, moving forward out of, like, hopefully this COVID stuff ends sometime soon, do you feel like you're gonna hit the road, maybe try to set up a tour? Like, do you have any plans for playing shows? What's the future look like for you when we're able to get back out in the world?
I hope so. I hope so. I've talked to like one booking agent We spoke for a little bit, and he was like, "Yeah, once COVID dies, we'll talk a little bit more and kind of see what happens." So I hope so. I've only done like I performed only like one time my whole life, and it was super dope, and like I loved it.
Yeah.
It was like on my birthday too. It was like kind of like this art festival. It was hilarious, but it actually went really well. I did like one song, but it still went really good.
That's awesome, man. Do you where you've had like more recent success, have you had anybody, like coming to you with some business propositions and stuff of like you had any labels, any management companies, you got anything like that going on?
Um, I like a bunch of labels have came to me. I'll say that. I don't really want to speak too much on that, but I've spoken with a lot of labels. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I ask, I wanted to lead into how do you feel about, artists owning their masters and the whole like the business in general. What's your take on it? Are you more of like a Russ type of person where you want to keep all of it, or are you down to play ball?
I think it really depends. I think it's all about like what they can give you. Like what are they really gonna bring to the table, you know? Because like the way I look at it is like the majority of the artists are gonna get like like streaming stuff, they're gonna get like about 18 to 20%. So we'll say 20%. So really the labels need to be able to make the artist like 5 times bigger than what they actually can do independent for them to make the same amount of money than they are. So
Right.
like when I was kind of in that situation where I was thinking about signing and everything like that, I was like, okay, is this person really going to make me 5 times bigger than I am? Because even these massive labels that are really really big, they have artists on there that don't do anything. Like they do bad streaming numbers. So like it really comes down to the A&R. Like who does this A&R have on there? Who are they signed? Are everybody he signed? Are they good? Okay, cool. Well then maybe I can vibe with him.
Yeah.
I'm not like full like be independent, be independent, be independent. But at the same time, like there's a lot of artists that are like way bigger than I am right now, and I make the same money as they do because I'm independent. And I think it also kind of depends on like where you want to go, you know, like because like for me, like if you want to be like Drake big or like stuff like you're not going to be Drake big independent. Like I don't believe that's really possible because they control so much of the industry. It's like
Okay.
they kind of put you in a position where you kind of like if you want to get that big, you really have to sign, but you don't have any intention of being Drake big and you just want to like I don't know, you want to be like a decent level, like you can do it independent, but there's like limits to where you can go as independent. But just because you're signed doesn't mean I don't know. The advice I would give to people is like don't sign just because they put it in your face because a lot of times they're going to give you a crappy deal that's like and they're not even really going to do anything for you. But I wouldn't say that's not the case for everything for sure. So I'm not really like anti-label against label. I'm really kind of game for whatever. It just depends on like what they're really going to do for me at the end of the day.
Yeah, man, that sounds smart. I just like to get artists' input on that to, because people feel all kinds of different ways about it. I personally have like seen it work really well both ways for people. I had somebody tell me one time is like kind of like what you were saying with Drake is like if you're managing a business that just like maybe ships soda to one grocery store, right? You could probably manage that yourself.
Yeah.
But what if you're Coca-Cola? You know what I mean? You need other like people helping you.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like kind of a good way to put it. It's like, yeah, if you want to manage it yourself and work in a smaller capacity and see where that takes you, great. But if you want to be like Drake big, you're gonna have to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. And
How
like with
about
the
you?
manager too, I don't really like I don't have a manager right now or anything. I'm really good at like I don't know. I'm very organized myself and like at the size I am, I just really don't have a need for one. But like I think like down the line, like obviously kind of like what you're saying, like down the line, like when I need one it'll probably happen. But
Yeah. I was talking to somebody that was saying that they would advise to get a lawyer first because they can do like so many things that like lower level people have just that job for, like a lawyer can they're gonna have to handle the contracts and stuff that your manager would have to even present to you in the first place. And it's like you could kind of cut out a lot of people by just having that lawyer because you can receive the email yourself and then you just send it to them.
exactly.
you know. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I would say too, like to anybody, like get an attorney. Like make sure you have an attorney. Like when I started talking to labels, that was literally like the first thing I did was went and found an attorney, because like you the if the music industry is like it's fierce. Like they'll like eat you alive. Like if you're not prepared, like they will give you a bad offer. Like as far as like a contract and everything, and try to just like throw it out there and see if someone will take it. You know, be like, oh, maybe this person doesn't have a good attorney. Let's just try this and see if it works. And then you get screwed into a deal that's like not really best for you.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, do you have do you have like any cuz I only seen like a couple of songs on SoundCloud before I hit you up. You responded right away, and so I don't know too much about you. Do you have like merch out? Like do you have a website or something? What do you got going on for yourself that like other than your songs, if I wanted to like give you money, like can I buy stuff from you other than just your music?
Yeah, I got a website with just merch, just a website for my merch. It's seonmusic.com. And I got two t-shirts and one hoodie, which they're all pretty dope. And then t-shirts are like 25, hoodies 40. But yeah, they're pretty dope. I just dropped that like 2 months ago.
Nice, man. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I wanted to ask you, I want to wrap up with two questions that are kind of like irrelevant to music, but I like to throw them in at the end. Do you have any advice that you'd like to give anybody listening?
Um, that's a big question. The base is like I kind of say it a lot, but it's like it's okay to not be okay. Like if you're struggling through something, like don't get down on yourself because like you're struggling through something, whether it's like depression, anxiety, OCD, or whatever it be. Like number one, you're not alone. Like there's millions and millions and millions of people that are going through everything that you're going through, and not like there's gonna come a time when things are gonna get better, but at the same time, like it takes work. Like I do a lot of like one-on-ones with my fans and like try to help them with their depression and things that they're going through. And like one of the biggest things I always tell them like is if nothing changes, like nothing's gonna change. Like if we don't make an effort to get somewhere, we're never gonna get there. And like a lot of times people will just be like, especially when we're dealing with depression and things like that, we're in states where we don't want to do anything and we're very like lonely. Like let me just lay in bed all day and like soak in my sorrow. And it's like that's the opposite of what we need to do to feel better. Like if we want to feel better, we have to go exercise, eat better. Like there's so many simple things we can do to feel better. But if we don't make an effort to do anything, like we're not going to. But
Definitely, man. That's great advice.
yeah,
Yeah, man. I personally like have taken that advice like recently. I like completely stopped, doing anything that was like bad for my health, like I cut out meat and alcohol and started to try to work out more. And like I can even like tell in my skin, like my skin is clearer, like it's brighter. I got like less wrinkles. Like I don't know how that's possible that like I literally just in I've been doing it for close to a year now and like I look younger, you
yeah,
know. I feel way better, look younger. I feel like it's the first time in a long time that I felt like I could go and play a full game of soccer again. Cause they like for a little while I got a little out of soccer shape. I wasn't like fat or nothing, but you know what I'm talking about. There's
yeah,
a difference. And so that's great advice. I feel like if you start with your body,
yeah,
it's easier to bring the mind along. And I think that reading is also, even if it's just like one or two pages of something.
yeah,
If you like a artist or something, like actually read an article about them, like the taking the time to just I don't like to, a lot of people say to meditate, and it's hard for me to like slow my mind down like that.
yeah.
So to read is like the equivalent to me to just sit and like read something for even a few minutes, like really helps me personally.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I think a lot of times it's just like learning. Like trying to strive to like gain more knowledge and like understand more things, you know. Because I think like for me, I love to learn, but like when we're grown up in this society and like with like school where we're taught like learning's lame, smart people are dumb, like it's not cool to learn, it's not cool to be smart. So like we just don't like to learn anymore, and the stuff they teach us in school sucks a lot of times. So I know like after I got out of school, I was really like, wow, I forgot I actually like to learn. You know, I just didn't
Yeah.
like to learn. Like we don't like to learn what they're teaching us a lot of times. Like we want to have a say in what we learn about them. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think reading is super dope. Like I read all the time. That's like all I did in prison. It was like hours on day, just like read. I probably read like 15, 20 books.
Dude, you got a couple book suggestions for us, man?
I read a lot of like spiritual stuff, but like on not spiritual stuff, Brave New World is like Brave New World super dope. It's by Aldous Huxley. It's about
Oh, yeah.
like in the future there's like a utopia and like the government basically takes over and like brainwashes everybody. And like it's kind of out there, but it's like not so out there because you're like this could totally happen. So like it's kind of dope. Um that one and then yeah, everything else is like a lot of like really spiritual books. But as far as that, I mean, I'm trying to think. What am I reading right now? Oh, I'm reading a book. Oh, yes. Think and Grow Rich. That book is like amazing. I'm reading it right now. I'm almost done. But I would like anybody should read that. It's like not too spiritual.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
So last question, man. What are you most grateful for?
Um, That's a good question. Honestly, right now it's just my freedom, man. Like that's really what it is. Especially like just coming out in July, like just my freedom. Like the simple act of like being able to walk outside when I want to, or like take a piss alone, or like wake up and there's not like a bunch of people around me all the time, and like getting quiet time, and you can just concide everything into freedom, really. And a lot of times we take so much for granted, and like I really realized that because like I don't know. It's kind of like that one song, like that passenger song. Like you only realize like the lover when you let her go or whatever. Like it's like that
Yeah.
with life a lot of times. Like we don't really realize what we have until it's like ripped away from us, and we're like, wow, I really enjoyed that. But like, wow, everything's here. We tend to take things for granted. Like gratitude is one of the most powerful things we can do because we're just saying thank you and we're just get to really be here. And then we're also kind of sending a message out that's saying, hey, give me more of this. I like this. Like when we say I enjoy this, we're saying to whoever it may be, like, give me more of this.
Oh yeah, man. This it's really good advice that you got, man. I think you got a really good perspective on things. I look to see a lot more big things coming your way, man. You're positive. It seems like whatever you needed to figure out in your life, like you figured it out. You're on the right track, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So any links, anything that you want from me to promote, just send it over an email. Let
Okay.
me know. The I just started the platform this month, and the whole idea is for just artists to help each other like promote, like hopefully, the people that I've posted and that I will post in the future, their fans can see your stuff and then vice versa. And it's just, basically a support local type of idea, but world community on the internet,
Yeah.
something like Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, things of that nature. They're so massive. There's like billions of artists, so it's this way maybe we can, focus a community down to like a little bit of a smaller um pool, so
Yeah.
everybody can actually um collaborate, intermingle, fans can cross pollinate and stuff like that. And just, yeah, man, send that stuff over, and please stay in touch. I look forward to if you want to do like when your video comes out, I
Hmm.
can wait. I can hold this until like your video drops, and then I can put that out with it instead of, whatever songs you have now. Just let me know in the email how you want me to do it. All right, man.
Okay. Yeah, I can let you know. I'll probably have you do that though, because I think I'm gonna drop it in 2 weeks.
All right.
So
Perfect, man. Sounds good. Thank you so much for taking the time out for the interview. I really appreciate it, man.
Of course, man. It was nice to meet you, dude. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's super dope.
Yeah, thank you, man. Good talking to you. Be
Peace
well.
out. You too.
Peace.